Hey guys, welcome to Coffee with My Father. My name is Jeff again, and we're going to talk about a rapture dream I had. It's the second one this year. One was more of a complete vision. This I throw in the dream category just because it happened as I was getting ready to fall asleep. Okay, so first of all, on the 17th of November, about 12:30 p.m., I laid down on the couch because I'm still post-op and closed my eyes to pray. I heard what sounded like a horn, could be a trumpet. It was a deep, deeper sound, like an entire brass ensemble was all playing exactly the same note at the same time, through the whole spectrum of octaves, and it was quite a sound. It kind of went through you. You felt it going through you from the inside, like you would. The description that most people would know would be the car next to you has the bass thumping, and you can feel it rumble, and you can hear it rumble the car. It was that kind of deepness and that kind of richness in the sound. Once that started, heard the sound of a rushing, growling wind, like a Derico wind. We've had a couple go through here, and it's different. You hear the rumble coming, and then it hits you all at once, going about 100 miles an hour. There's something like a Category 4 or higher hurricane wind where it's rumbling and growling too. So you've got that brass ensemble, the rumbling and growling, but not like a tornado or a train, something more unique. And as I was feeling that, I felt the sense that I was going up. And in that sense of going up, I was looking down. First thing I saw was the roof of our house, then our neighborhood, then basically the Rapid City region, the Black Hills, and out and out and out till it got to the point where it was coming out where you could see the entire shape of the earth. And all this time, the trumpet's still, that brass ensemble still sounding. And then it got suddenly very quiet. Then I saw what could only be described as angels dancing and celebrating. There was no sound, no music. It was simply peacefully quiet. And they were just moving around, floating around, just pure white light, but definitely could see features, but within that light. And at that moment, when they were celebrating and dancing around us, I asked if my family was okay. And the angel that I asked said to me, just look around, we're all together here. And I looked around, and my entire family, everyone here in South Dakota, everyone in South Carolina, everyone in North Carolina, and everyone in Minnesota were all present together in the same area. So that was a very comforting thing to know, to see that. And then in a split second after that, we were in the throne room of the Lamb. That's where you knew you were. Just like it tells you in some of the Old Testament and Revelation, there was thundering, there was lightning, colors, there was angels everywhere, there was music, there was some type of singing, and the light coming from the throne, from the Lamb, was, I can't explain how bright it was, but it didn't hurt your eyes to look at it. It was the brightest light you've ever seen, but it didn't hurt your eyes. And you could feel the light, and the light felt like love. Felt like it was just wrapping you up like the most amazing hug you'd ever gotten. And that was awesome. That's the only way to say it. And it felt like I was there, we were there forever. There was like, time was different. It seemed very quick, but expansive at the same time. It was like, I guess, kind of a quantum location kind of deal, where you're somewhere and somewhere else at the same time. And then the horn sounded again, and that was an announcing an attack by these strange dark beings that I didn't realize. I knew they were demonic in nature, but John's description throughout Revelation of the things he sees, the beings coming out of the earth in the furnace, and the beings coming out of the mouths of the frogs in the river, they make sense now. That's what he saw. It wasn't helicopters and things like that he mistook because he didn't have words for them. These were different beings that he described perfectly. And that attack was dispatched very quickly. The angels focused on it, boom, it was done. And then anything that had been injured or destroyed or broken apart in that attack was instantaneously put together when it was over. It never happened. After that, go back to the quantum location thing. We left the presence, but we didn't leave the presence. It seemed like we were still there in the presence of God, still wrapped in that love, still in that light, but we went elsewhere, and I call it a field of colors. And I had seen this field of colors before, about 20 years ago, in another rapture dream, but I didn't really realize that it was a rapture dream. I thought it was just God taking me on a trip somewhere. But this field of colors, there are the colors we know, and every different shade of those colors, all at once. Just kind of weaving in and out of each other. Every time they passed, they created new colors. Colors I've never seen. I think they were colors. That's the best way to describe them. But like whatever the spectrum of light is, and we see this much, you can see it all. And each different color, and each time a new color was made, a new tone came out. They were all emitting these tones. Some within the 88 keys of the keyboard, some I think outside of that, some in between, maybe the microtonal stuff. But it was beautiful. It was peaceful and reassuring, but also at the same time invigorating. It made you want to get up and do something. And at that point, my insulin pump alarmed for a calibration, and I calibrated, and I went back and looked, and it was at that point in time 4:30 in the morning. So I went from this dream or vision, and earthly times lasted from approximately 12:30 in the morning to 4:30 in the morning. So about 4 hours. And it was one of those things where like, oh, well, the alarm woke me up, and I looked at the clock and it was already 4:30. So there's an example of what I'm talking about. To me, it seemed like a split second. Here, it was 4 hours. In the vision, and how long it took, it could have been eternity, it could have been a flash. So, yeah, so that was what I woke up to Thursday morning. I spent most of the day trying to write it down and get it in order so that I could explain it. Sent it to some family, told Aaron and Allie, and now I finally have the time to put a video together. So I hope this helps. I hope this is reassuring to you. A lot of it was biblical. There was the war in heaven. There was from chapter 12 of Revelation. There were the thousands of angels meeting us in the air. There was Jesus meeting us in the air. There was the throne of the Lamb. There was all the thunderings and lightnings and colors and music at that throne. There was the trumpet and the rushing wind. It was all there. So again, I hope this helps. I'm going to try to get this out for you here. And as long as I'm sitting up, I'm going to go back and we'll get the last video for the last home study we did. We'll get back into those next week sometime. But thanks. Have a great afternoon. See you soon. God bless.